With the recent boom of streamers, there has been this idea that being a streamer is the ultimate dream job. You sit in your room, play games, talk to your chat, and make money. It seems incredibly safe and fun. However, when you invite the entire internet into your life, you never really know who is walking through that digital door. Today, we're going to be talking about what happens when the screen isn't enough to protect you. And this isn't just about internet drama. This is about real life and real danger.
Let's start with a case from March 11th, 2025. This is Airi Sato, a 22-year-old Japanese streamer who frequently streamed on the platform WhoWatch. A lot of her content involved IRL streaming, which means in real life. She would take her phone out and broadcast her daily walks and activities. She had thousands of people watching her just live her life. But one of those viewers happened to be a 44-year-old man named Kenichi Takano.
Oh no, I already don't like where this is going. Let me guess, did he form some kind of weird attachment to her?
Exactly, Andy. He started following her streams around 2022 and even started visiting the restaurant she worked at. He claimed he lent her a massive amount of money, about 2.55 million yen, and when she didn't pay it back, his obsession turned violent.
Some netizens debate that because she asked him for the money and it wasn't a donation, that he had every right to be angry. However, that does not justify his actions at all. On the morning of March 11th, Takano saw a notice about Ari's upcoming streaming schedule. He traveled hours from a completely different city, logged into her stream, and used the background details on our live video to pinpoint exactly where she was walking in Tokyo.
Wait, so he literally hunted her down in real time just by looking at what was behind her on the camera?
Yes, and while more than 6,000 people were watching her broadcast live, Takano ambushed her on the street. He attacked her with a knife, stabbing her at least 55 times. The viewers heard her scream for help before the camera suddenly went dark. Emergency sirens could be heard in the background of the black screen. She was rushed to the hospital where she later passed away. In July 2026, he was sentenced to 16 years in prison. But it left the entire streaming community realize that IRL broadcasting basically acts as a live GPS tracker for anyone who wants to do you harm. Lukey, if you think about it, she basically had 6,000 stalkers just looking at her all at once.
Bro, that's absolutely insane. I do not want 6,000 people watching whatever I do in real time.
Yeah, that is an absolute nightmare. She was just doing her job and someone used it against her.
And the terrifying truth is that you don't even have to be outside during an IRL stream for this kind of parasocial obsession to reach you. Sometimes they come straight to your front door in the middle of the night.
You mean like someone actually breaking in?
Exactly, Andy. Look what happened to YouTube creators Meg Turney and Gavin Free back in January 2018. Meg and Gavin were an absolute power couple. Meg had a crazy following and Gavin was part of Rooster Teeth and the Slow-Mo Guys, which amounted to over 10 million subscribers. They lived together in a quiet home in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, they were huge. I used to watch the Snow Guys all the time.
Me too, Andy. But so did 23-year-old man named Christopher Eric Giles. However, he wasn't just a normal fan like the rest of us. According to police, he had developed a deep, disturbing obsession with Meg, which morphed into a violent, jealous hatred for Gavin. He left notes on his phone writing things like, "I want Gavin Free to die alone with no children." He thought if he got rid of Gavin, he could somehow get together with Meg.
And on January 26, Christopher Giles decided to act on it. He drove 11 hours from Albuquerque, New Mexico, all the way to their house in Austin, and with him, he brought a handgun.
Andy, did you just say he brought a handgun?
Yeah, bro. And at 3:40 a.m., Meg and Gavin were jolted wide awake by the sound of breaking glass and a gunshot. Giles had shot through their back door to get inside. They did the only thing they could. They ran and hid in their master bedroom closet and called 911 while they listened to this armed man walking through their home searching for them.
Bro, that sounds like a literal horror movie. Please tell me the police got there in time.
Luckily, they did. The police arrived just in time as Giles was backing his car out of the driveway to leave. A shootout occurred and the medical examiner later ruled that Giles died in the driveway from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Meg and Gavin survived physically unharmed, but the psychological terror of having an obsessed fan hunt you down in your own bedroom is something that you can really never recover from.
It completely shatters any feeling of safety you have in your own home, where you're supposed to feel the safest. You're now gonna be constantly on your toes and you never know when it could happen again.
Exactly. And while Giles acted alone, sometimes the streaming community itself creates environments that are just as lethal. Lukey, have you ever heard of a subathon?
Yeah, it's when a streamer promises to keep the stream running as long as people keep subscribing, right? Like they sleep on camera and everything?
Exactly. And in August 2025, French streamer Raphael Gravin, also also known as John Promanov, started his subathon on Kick.
John Pormanov was participating in a massive extreme livestream marathon with other co-streamers. The broadcast ended up running for over 298 hours straight, which is nearly 12 full days being live on camera.
12 days? How does a human body even handle that?
It barely does. But to make matters worse, his channel was built around this dark concept where he would subject himself to bullying and humiliation for money. During this subathon, his co-streamers were physically torturing him to keep the viewers entertained and the money rolling in. For example, they would rev a motorcycle inside their shared bedroom, blast a leaf blower at him, shoot him with paintballs, and douse him in water. They even competed to see who could mess with him the most. French media reported he was slapped and punched repeatedly. All of this was broadcasted live to thousands of people who were literally paying to see him suffer.
In a message read by his co-streamer, Pormanov allegedly complained to his mother that he felt like he was being held prisoner by the concept of the stream. The pressure to keep the subathon going was immense. The money kept rolling in, and at one point, the counter on the screen showed that they had earned around $42,000. But the physical toll was too much. Around the 12th day, viewers noticed something odd. Pormanov wasn't moving and something felt off. He had died while the stream was still running. While an autopsy later said that his death wasn't caused by direct physical trauma, the French media minister called the entire situation an absolute horror, stating that he was humiliated, mistreated, and borderline abused for days on end.
Bro, that's something you would find on the dark web. People cheering while someone is literally working to death.
It really is, and the most terrifying part is that you don't even have to be IRL streaming or doing extreme subathons to be in danger. You can literally be sitting safely in your own house playing a perfectly normal game, and someone can still bring the danger directly to your doorstep.
Swatting is when an anonymous viewer figures out your home address, calls the local police, and fabricates a horrific crime, like a hostage situation or a bomb threat. They do it knowing that the police are required to send a heavily armed SWAT team to your front door.
Oh yeah, I've seen clips of that. The streamers are literally just playing Minecraft or video games, and suddenly there are assault rifles pointed at their head.
And it could be lethal. Innocent people have been killed because a viewer thought it would be a funny prank to see a streamer get raided by the police live on Twitch. Imagine sitting in your dark room wearing noise-canceling headphones, and the next second your front door is battered down by a tactical team. So if you become a big streamer, you have to constantly keep in mind that this might happen. So it completely shatters any feeling of safety you have in your own home.
Exactly, and the common theme here is the delusion of the screen. We assume that because we're watching someone through a monitor, it's not real life. The viewers feel disconnected from the consequences of their actions, and the creators feel a false sense of security. But as we saw with Ari Sato, Jean Pormanov, and Gavin Free, the digital world bleeds into the real world.
It really makes you look at live streaming completely differently. It's not just a game. So the next time you log into a stream or watch someone broadcasting their daily life, just remember, you never really know what kind of danger is lingering just out of the frame or who is watching from the other side of the screen.
So let us know down in the comments your thoughts and other crazy stories you might have. And until next time.
See ya.